Hello fellow football connoisseurs and welcome back to the Quick Take. We have some massive news today, especially around the Messinho saga that has been dragging on for a while now. Of course, Estevao Willian, one of the biggest young prospects coming out of Brazil, up there with the likes of Endrick, up there with the likes of Kendrick Paez, who is already a Chelsea player. Chelsea are pushing hard, and we have a massive breakthrough regarding the negotiations for Messinho himself. This coming in from Fabrizio Romano earlier today around about 4:43 p.m. on the 8th of May 2024. Chelsea have reached verbal agreement with Willian Estevao on personal terms. Initial bid still to be sent, but it will be around 32 million euros plus add-ons as talks with Palmeiras will follow. Now, this does open up some questions regarding Chelsea's current transfer strategy. We all know what it is. Sign young players, a lot of young players, invest in a lot of potential investments, players that aren't even old enough to join Chelsea right now, and players who aren't really old enough and experienced enough to really have any say or really, have any real backing to put themselves into the first team right away. Angelo Gabriel, Amari Hutchinson went out on loan, Andre Santos, and then again, players like Estevao Willian, he is only 17 years old, and we have the final price in which it will take in order to bring him to Chelsea, and it may shock you, but we'll get into that in the further updates in the video. Also very interesting here, Chelsea have reached a verbal agreement with Willian Estevao on personal terms. Very interesting. Again, Willian Signing, also known as Messinho, he has had his eyes set on the Barcelona move. But of course, Barcelona being the broke club that they are, they can't afford him. And so Chelsea have come in, they have seen this opportunity, this business opportunity to bring in such a young talent, and they have swooped in. Now, we are very lucky in terms of getting this deal done that we have been as accelerated as we have been. Because usually you see names like Estevao Willian going to Real Madrid, or as I say, going to Barcelona, or even going to Bayern Munich, who is another club rumoured to be coming in for him, or even PSG. Chelsea, since the Toboli acquisition, have shown that they want to sign these names. The Kendrick Paez's, the Endricks. We were very close to signing Endrick, and I think this is going to be our Endrick, our big money signing for such a young player with such a high ceiling. In my opinion, I've seen him play a couple of times. Not obviously in person, he's in bloody Brazil, but I have seen him play, and from what I've seen, he is incredibly exciting on the ball. He has a very quick reaction when it comes to understanding balance and how to shift his body in order to best get round players, not necessarily just using pace like flat out. He's very much a player who kind of reminds me of Cole Palmer in a way, where he can dribble past you in a phone box. He's one of those very tight controlled dribblers who can use feints. He's very unpredictable as well, coming up against players one-on-one. It's not like he's just like one or two step overs and he darts off in a direction. He does a lot of like feints. He's almost like Tyson Fury in a way, where he shows you stuff and then he does another thing to get around you. Great finisher. As I said, 17 years old, so he's still got a lot to work on in terms of his overall play. And I think that, as I said, his ceiling is his ceiling's non-existent for Estevao Willian. We have this update here. New: Chelsea prefers to pay slightly more than the 55 million euro release clause for Estevao Willian so that they can have the deal structured. It could be a 32 million euro base fee plus 25 million in add-ons. Chelsea are working hard with Palmeiras and they are advancing. He's close to joining Chelsea. And then we had this: Estevao Willian has accepted the Chelsea project in salary, and everything is ready on that side. And then the final update regarding Estevao Willian is coming in from Bruno Andrade, writing for CNN Portugal. Chelsea raised a proposal to sign Estevao Willian to 60 million euros, fixed 35 million euro up front, and then 25 million euros in add-ons. The player has a verbal agreement on a long-term contract, and should it go through, he would then head to England in June 2025 at 18 years old. Now, this does bring into question the overindulgence, one may say, regarding the right wing position. We have Omari Hutchinson doing absolute wonders at Ipswich, who have now been promoted, and I think he will be loaned back to Ipswich for another year, probably contract extensions, because I think his contract ends in summer 2026. So by the end of next summer, he'll have 1 year left on his deal. So we want to get a contract extension and loan him back to Ipswich. We also have, of course, Noni Madueke, who can play right wing. We have Cole Palmer, who can play right wing, who may be moved to a more central position to accommodate the arrival of, as I said, Estevao Willian and Kendry Paez in 2025. I'm probably missing a few players. Angelo Gabriel, who's on loan at Strasbourg and who is, a very exciting player. Thiago Moreira, Diogzi, who can play right wing. Another player who is just coming through. Obviously, not all of these players are going to make it to Chelsea. A lot of them will be sold for profit. If I had to guess, or just sold in general, if I had to guess the players who would be sold or moved on by the summer 2025, I would imagine we would be listening to offers for Omari Hutchinson, as a report earlier today stated that, we do have profit and sustainability rules kind of staring over our shoulders, watching exactly what we do, and maybe he could be a person we sell on. We got him from very, very cheap from the Arsenal Academy, and as I said, he has proven himself to be quite a capable young player at Ipswich. Angelo Gabriel, another player who may have been brought in to then be sold for profit. We also have names like, I said already, Diego Moreira. He may not be sold for a high amount of money, but he may be using a swap deal for another player. Again, and then Noni Madueke, whether he wants to stay at Chelsea or whether we have offers coming in for him. He started to come out of his shell this season, playing a lot better. His one-on-one ability is a lot better to make way for the names like Estevao Willian, also known as Messinho, and Kendry Paez. Both of those two last names, I believe, are going to be superstars. But the question remains, 60 million euros when we are coming into June, where we are going to be selling a lot of players like Conor Gallagher. Trevor Chalobah is likely to leave. Of course, his recent form, people may want him to stay. In my opinion, the owner's going to see that as great, that's going to raise interest. So Conor Gallagher, Trevor Chalobah, Kepa's going to be leaving. Lukaku's rumoured to be going to Napoli when we bring in Osimhen. Ziyech is not going to be returning. I'm sure I'm missing loads of names here. Ian Matson, 35 million, I think pounds or euros release clause. He is now in the Champions League final, so that's going to raise interest in him. So that's going to be a sale there. In my opinion, we should sell Ben Chilwell, keep Marc Cucurella. I think he's better tactically, and I think he's better technically in terms of fitting into a system that adjusts his position. Of course, we've seen him inverting in recent games. There's lots of players that are going to be sold. And at the same time, we're buying 17-year-olds for 60 million euros. It's a strange thing Chelsea are doing. Now, to clarify my position, is this transfer strategy of selling half the squad that comes out of the academy to then buy young, exciting, talented players out of South America smart and wise? No. I would be even more excited if we weren't having to make such sacrifices with our own squad to continue down this road of just signing players who aren't even old enough to come into Chelsea now. I think we struck gold when we signed Kendry Paez. Can we do it again with Estevao Willian? In my opinion, I think yes, but the price is nowhere near as cheap as it was for Kendry Paez. We're paying a very, very premium price for a player who has a very high ceiling. But anything can happen in football. He may rupture his Achilles, he may do his ACL. Anything could happen that could wipe that money off the plate when we're already dealing with financial problems. However, it does look like Estevao Willian to Chelsea is looking done even before we enter the summer transfer window. Let me know your thoughts on Estevao Willian. Is he a good signing? Yes or no? Are you sick and tired of this continued transfer strategy of, again, buying toddlers and then waiting 50 years before they can even play for the senior team? As always, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. I've been The Quick Take, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.